Hi everyone. When I'm usually not trying to figure out what do I do with my old name tags and how do I make interesting displays out of them, I'm usually helping people apply or get some help and insight on the Disney College program. One of the biggest questions I get asked quite often is there anything unique I should be packing for the Disney College program that most places do not list? So let's get out your metaphorical suitcase, whether you're driving down or flying down, and let's go see what to pack. The first item I would recommend packing is a Padfolio or journal of some sort. Now, I'm not just saying this only to put personal notes in and write down good memories, which is really nice because the Disney College program, you're going to make memories that you will want to write down to remember for years to come. But additionally, if you wanted to shadow, which is known as meet and greets on company terms, where you go and watch someone else in a field that you might be interested working in the future, it is highly recommended you have something to write down everything that you want to take note on. The second item I would recommend taking is an updated version of your resume. And I'm not just saying have one on a flash drive, I'm also saying print one out, because you might not be able to get to a printer in time and you might need one for a certain situation. One of the best parts about the Disney College program is once your term is coming to an end, you are often given the opportunity to extend it, but to go into a different role if you choose so. Now, some of the roles do require that you do have a resume and it's up to date, including your current experience with the Disney College program. I would highly recommend making sure that yours is up to date, print one out, because you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know if there's a recruiter at an event where they might be able to help you get to the person you want. The third item I would highly recommend is something to remember from home. Now, I know you might be saying, well, why would I want to remember home? I'm going to Disney, this is going to be the most magical experience of my life. There will be a lot of times when you will be homesick, especially when you first move there, and especially during different times when you start seeing people have their family members come visit. It's not always just bundles of joy at every single minute, just like life. So I highly recommend bringing something that if you are homesick, you can open up, whether it's photos of you and your family or your friends or loved ones, or it's letters that they write. Even if you never do open it, just like I ended up never opening mine, it's nice to have that piece of comfort knowing there's something here that if I do get very sad and I start considering self-charming or anything, I have something that I can open up to try to motivate me or just keep me calm from any anxiety. The next thing I would highly recommend is actually bringing a bigger suitcase. Now, I know some of you are driving, so if you're able to somehow bring a big suitcase, put a smaller suitcase inside of it, then put stuff inside of it, it will make a world of a difference. Because while you're on this Disney College program, you will be getting a lot of free swag. Now, some of it is not going to be memorable. Other things, such as mouse pads, you might want to keep because it's really nice, the designs are amazing, and come on, who doesn't love free things from Disney that are Disney themed? Having an extra suitcase allows you to either ship it back with a loved one if they come visit, or when you go back, whether it's flying or even driving, you have another way to store stuff easily, compact, without having to go get a U-Haul or ship it back home, which can be very expensive. The next item I would recommend is something that you can get while you're down there, but it's also nice to get it in advance if you do have the storage space in your car, probably not if you're flying, but a blanket alone and even just a normal mattress covering is not going to be great enough on your back for how much standing, walking, and moving around you're going to be doing while staying in the green zone at your role. I highly recommend getting one of the foam toppers. It looks like eggshell cartons that you put in between the mattress covering and the mattress itself. It makes a world of a difference on your back. It is super helpful, and there are many nights when I did not have one and my back was killing me the next day, and at my roll I would keep pulling my back, not because I was doing anything too crazy out of the green zone, but because you are on your feet a lot. So I highly recommend getting one very early on in your program, that way you are prepared. The next item I highly recommend is bringing something that's from your home if you do want to give it to friends that you might not see again. For instance, this item was given to me by my friends and co-workers, Monique and Brandon. Now, they're from Australia, Unfortunately, the odds of me seeing them again are relatively slim. However, it was nice. They brought over 10 of these little koalas from back home as little souvenirs to give out to their friends that they wanted to say, thank you just for being my friend. And I still keep this. Even though it's a small koala, it means a lot. I always think of the memories that I shared with my friends. And it's something that, yes, you do it with your roommates, yes, you have photos that you might still have and keep, but having a keepsake from someone's home where they might have not necessarily ever been to, it means a lot, and it's just joy that you can't really express otherwise. The next item is insoles, because as much as I love putting patches on my back and my feet just to try to get them to breathe and to be able to function correctly without having pain so that I could go to the parks on my off days, insoles are extremely recommended. Now, you do have to buy a unique pair of shoes while you're down there, so you can't just go in with your normal sneakers, high heels, Converse, whatever. I wear basketball shoes. So it's very important to have insoles, whether they're professional ones or just ones over the counter that you cut into the shape of your foot. Have them with you on your program. Bring an extra pair if you have to, because you're either going to have to buy your own set of shoes to fit the Disney look, or they will provide you a pair of shoes from Disney costuming, which are very uncomfortable. Personally, with my role, I was getting about 30,000 steps per shift. I had to wear double insoles. I'm glad that I brought 2 pairs of insoles that correctly fit my feet, because I layered it. Yes, it made me taller than I really needed to be, but it makes a world of a difference on your feet, even if it's just 1 pair. Please do it to save your feet and protect those feet so when you do go to the parks on your off days, you don't get exhausted just after riding a few rides. The next thing I would bring is cash and coins. Now cash, yes, not everywhere you're going to go to on Disney property and off property will accept credit cards. Especially some of the gas stations in Orlando tend to go cash only randomly because of skimming issues. Now I also would recommend bringing coins if you are able to, even if you're flying in, because if you want to go to the beach or you want to go somewhere outside of Disney property, you are most likely going to have to pay tolls. If you do not plan on living there long term and do not want to get the Florida Pass, the Sun Pass, bring coins so you can have the exact change to go through some of the tolls, because not all of the tolls have people there to make change for you. Bring an autograph book. Now I know you might be saying, I'm too old for characters, and if you say that, that's kind of sad. But hopefully you don't say that, because on your Disney College program, there's going to be a lot of unique characters at some of the different events you go to, especially the house welcoming events. That's when you meet some of the characters you cannot meet elsewhere. Having an autograph book, if they allow you to get something signed, is huge. And even then, sometimes just walking around the parks, because you're there more often at weird hours of the day, you're able to see characters that might not normally be out in the parks. And it's a great time to be able to have an autograph book, get it signed, or even just take a picture, because these type of memories, they last with you. They last a lifetime. Final thing I would recommend is making sure you have the right attire for the right season. Now I know while most people are going to Florida, and some of you do go to California, I would highly, highly recommend bringing at least 1 pair of like jeans or sweats or something that is warmer, and at least 1 long sleeve shirt. Because especially in Orlando area, when it starts reaching the winter months, your body's going to adapt. It's going to change. You're going to start getting cold at 70-degree weather, even though that sounds so nice most places. When you go from 98 degrees to 70 degrees, your body gets cold. You might buy a jacket there, but especially when it gets to winter months, come January and February, if you extend your program, your body is going to be very cold when that wind from the 7 lakes just blows onto you. It makes a world of a difference if you have an undershirt that is long sleeve that you can put underneath your costume. If it's allowed, make sure, of course, that you still fit the Disney look so you don't get in trouble. It helps a lot, and it keeps you safe, and it keeps you from being sick and potentially missing any work days, which would not be good because that means less park days. So those are the main things I would recommend bringing that might not necessarily be shown elsewhere. I also will be including in the description a link to a Google Doc sheet which shows you different things that I personally would recommend bringing as well, such as a lunchbox. That's something that almost all of us forgot to bring, and it was a mad scramble to get one the day of. But hopefully the list helps you. Feel free to share it. And if you have any questions about more items that should I bring, should I leave this, please feel free to put it below. The one thing I will say is I did not want to make a video of things to not bring. But I will say do not bring too many clothes. I personally brought way too many clothes, and I realized I'm going to be in my work costume for 5 days a week. I'm only going to be wearing non-Disney clothes maybe 3 or 4 days a week, because a lot of times I just went home and slept afterwards. Make sure you have enough clothes, of course, if you want to go out and about, but so many of us brought way too many clothes that we ended up just wearing about 5 different shirts throughout, and then buying new clothes, and then it just became a mess with wardrobe. Best of luck on your program, whether you're applying or you got accepted, and remember to always just keep going towards your dreams. Don't stop believing. Anything is possible as long as you keep trying, even if it takes you 7 tries to get in. That happened to one of my friends. Just keep doing it. You have people here to support you. Have a magical day, and so long, everyone.